Welcome, everyone. Here is a video that I am calling vibe prompting. I'd like to share how I go about generating prompts for some of the agents that I build in tools like Agent AI. And so this term vibe prompting is inspired by this post from Andre Karpathy, where he talks about there's this new kind of coding he calls vibe coding, where you fully give into the vibes, embrace exponentials, and forget that the code even exists. And basically, what he's saying is that the LLMs have now got so good that he just kind of talks um, to the composer with Super Whisperer. And so he doesn't even touch the keyboard and he just tells it, do this, do that. And it just kind of does what he wants it to do. As he like kind of finishes the statement, I just see stuff, say stuff, run stuff, copy and paste stuff, and it mostly works. And this is an approach that I've used personally when it comes to writing code, either using Google Apps Script or even Python code to go add to my agents. Without really knowing how to code in Python or Google Apps Script, it's been kind of a game changer. But how does this relate to vibe prompting? How does this relate to building agents? So I'm going to take an example. So I came up with this idea that I wanted to build an agent that basically will take a CSV file, any CSV file, understands what the file is about, and then will ask clarifying questions, and then analyzes it and returns a detailed analysis. So let's say, and I was playing around with this because I was trying to do my expenses for my business, and I was going to upload my credit card statements and then just have it come up and analyze it and tell me like what am I spending in what categories. The other use case I had was similarly I had a profit and loss statement that I wanted to do analysis. And so a lot of times, and again, this is not about building some kind of BI dashboard and doing some detailed analysis on a snowflake table. This is just, you have CSV files and you want to ask some questions. But could I do it in a generic way? And so the first thing is that, I ask ChatGPT, can I build an agent like this? And it says, yes, you can. And this is what the process will look like. Understand the file structure, ask clarifying questions, conduct analysis, and then return a detailed analysis. And it says I could use all these various tools, no code tools like Agent AI or AnyQuest. So this is great. So then I say, all right. So this is kind of my process. I'm like, great, you told me to do this. Then I'm saying, can you now come up with a prompt that understands the file structure? And so it goes and it comes up with this prompt, blah, 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 understand the file structure. So I'm just kind of reading it, understanding what it is. So it reads the file structure, generates clarifying questions, wait for the input, output format. You can see pretty detailed prompt that'll do what I wanted to do. Imagine if I was sitting and writing this prompt. And so this is what I think has changed in my approach to prompt engineering is I don't sit and write these long prompts anymore. I just kind of put what I want and I just say generate a prompt for me. Um, and then, it comes back with some stuff. And then I'm like, hey, should I break those clarifying questions into two prompts? One around understanding the data. And then once that's done, then we can ask questions around clarifying questions, right? So if you look at what it had said, understand the file structure, then generate clarifying questions about that, and then wait for the input, and then, do that. And so what you'll notice here, it then breaks it up and says, yes, this is a great idea. Sorry, I'm up here, jumped up a little. Yes, it agrees with me that it's a great approach. So we understand the data structure first before we move into analysis, clarifications. And so now it says, this is how I understand the CSV file. This is how I ask clarifying questions. And then I read that and I say, hey, can you change this so we can pass as input to its CSV file and the responses to our clarifying questions around the data structure, and then have it generate clarifying questions around the analysis. Because if I look at this, um, it needs to take the CSV file and the clarifying questions to go do that. And so it does that. And again, you'll notice it just generates the prompt. And I won't go through each of these steps. You get the idea. I just look at the output, I read it, and I'm like, so this was a good one. When I looked at it, it says it contains financial and operational data, and I don't want that. I could be giving any kind of CSV. I could be giving a Fitbit data to it. And so I basically say, it could be anything. I don't want to limit. Um, and so I want to, do that. And so then it changes it containing tabular data, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of keep going on and then it's like to generate responses. What inputs does it need? So it goes to that. And so at the end of it, I have a bunch of prompts. As you can see, it's kind of a long process that I go through. but I now have all my prompts. Then what I do is I just go to agent AI, and now here is where uh, I just go and start adding. So this is where I upload the CSV. Then this is the first prompt. And basically, I'm just cutting and pasting. I'm not doing anything different. And I'm just kind of saying, hey, and return the output, and so on and so forth. And then from that, then I'm now taking, pushing it out. This is where I'm sending the clarifying questions, and then I'm asking for the clarifying questions. Then I'm using the clarifying questions and the file to then say, now generate a new file, and so on and so forth. And here is my agent. Uh, what I don't want you to feel is like, once I've done this, it is done, and then this agent's just going to work. Now I get into the debugging process, and my next video is going to talk about how I use web prompting to actually go do and debug this. So I finally get the output that I want and have an agent that actually generates a CSV file. Thanks. Hope you learned something, and go start building agents. Go to AnyQuest or go to agent.ai and download and start building some agents and play around with web prompting.